I hope it wasn't Nancy Pelosi or Hillary Clinton. That's all I got to say. Guys, I got a video for you today. It's going to shock you. Tucker Carlson was attacked in his bed by a demon. And I'm really praying it wasn't Nancy or Hillary. They better have alibis. Stand by. Let's get to talking about this. The devil's real. We're about to prove it.
Do you think the presence of evil is kickstarting people to wonder about the good?
That's what happened to me.
That's what happened to you?
Oh yeah, I had a direct experience with it.
In the milieu of journalism or just?
Nope, in my bed at night, and I got attacked while I was asleep with my wife and 4 dogs in the bed and mauled. Physically mauled.
In a spiritual attack by a demon?
Yeah, by a demon. Something unseen that left
Is that right?
claw marks on my sides, on my...
So it left physical marks?
Oh, they're still there. Yeah.
Tucker Carlson is a legit journalist, well respected around the world by world leaders. He's done multiple interviews with world leaders. Some of you know exactly what I'm talking about. And he's around our current president on a daily basis, Elon Musk, all of these educated people. For Tucker Carlson to come out and say something like this really got me to thinking, really got me to doing some research and some reading. I've got very good history within the religious sector. I have never experienced anything like this other than the movies. But this has always fascinated me. And on a daily basis, I know most of you have seen demons on a daily basis in action. They are actually walking around. Some would say they're in D.C. controlling the country. But this is fascinating. I am so intrigued by this. If it was anyone else, I would have kept clicking. I would have never shared this with any of you. But because of who it is and the respect that he has garnered and the respect I have for him, I can't quit watching this. I had to share it.
A year and a half ago.
Was your wife terrified? I know you were.
I wasn't. I was totally confused. I woke up and I couldn't breathe and I thought I was going to suffocate, and I walked around outside, and then I walked in and my wife and dogs had not woken up, and they're very light sleepers. And then I had these terrible pains on my rib cage and on my shoulder, and I was just in my boxer shorts, and I went and flipped on the light in the bathroom, and I had 4 claw marks on either side underneath my arms and on my left shoulder, and they're bleeding.
Wait, they were bleeding?
They're bleeding, yeah. No, they're actual claw marks. And I sleep on my side, so I wasn't clawing myself. I don't have long nails. And they didn't fit my hands anyway. But yeah, that happened. So I'm not from a world where things like that happen. I never heard of anything like that happening before. I had no idea what that was. I knew it was spiritual immediately.
You did? Okay, that was gonna be my question.
Yeah. I don't understand to this day. I'm not gonna put it...
You didn't try to refute the spiritual part in your own mind.
Have any of you ever had something like this happen? If you have, leave a comment down below. Either a physical altercation, physical assault, maybe you've heard something, maybe you've seen something.
You want to loosen the straps, son.
Leave a comment down below, anonymously, if you want. I won't share it. Love to know.
You went right into the...
Well, it didn't make any sense, and it doesn't now. But I'm not from a, what do they call it, faith tradition that talks about things like that or even acknowledges their existence. Like, there's nothing like that. I've never heard anybody say anything like that in my whole life.
What was the next day like?
Well, the next morning I woke up and I thought, that was the weirdest dream I've ever had. And then I saw blood on my sheets and I realized that was not a dream at all. So I called my assistant, who was like the only evangelical Christian I know, well enough to call with something bizarre like that, totally bizarre like that.
Would you call anyone and actually talk to anyone without them legitimately thinking, this guy's a crazy person? I think I would be afraid to talk about it to anyone, right? I mean, how many of you would call someone? Who would you call? I don't know if I'd want them to legitimize it for me. That would probably scare me the most. I could play it off as something else until someone else, you get that confirmation bias.
And she said, oh yeah, no, that happens. Yeah, people are attacked in their bed by demons. What? What are you even talking about? Yeah. So, I mean, I'm not leaving anything out, and I'm not pretending to understand that. I can only say what happened to me, and that did happen to me. And then I was seized with this very intense desire to read the Bible, which I then started without any study aids or anything. I bought a Bible that didn't have any. I'm not interested in editorializing in the Bible. I just want to read it and see what's in there myself. I have very low levels of trust for Christian pastors, most of whom, I'm just not a fan at all. And sorry to say that, but that's how I feel. And so I don't want to hear other people's opinions. I just want to see what's in there. And so I spent a year and a half reading it, and then I started rereading it. And it was just a transformative experience for me, but I'm not, holding myself out as someone from whom you could get theological advice, because I'm not.
Of course.
I don't know. I don't understand any of it. But yeah, that happened.
God allowed.
He brings up a very good point. He doesn't trust some of these commercialized preachers, pastors. I think that's what has really damaged Christianity here in the United States, is religion has been commercialized. Everybody's selling a book. Jim Baker, I think he's up in Branson, Missouri now. He's selling seeds. He's selling all the prep kits. Then you've got other preachers that own actual stadiums in Houston, Texas, that wouldn't allow victims of the flood to shelter in it. But yet, that guy on a Sunday gets on there and just smiles and smiles and smiles and tells you all this good stuff, preaching this success doctrine, right? Doesn't ever really use a Bible, never really mentions the name Jesus or God. I've never seen a preacher anywhere in the last 10 years that I'm aware of on TV mention the word Revelations, right? They don't like to talk out of that book. It's all this success doctrine. Be more successful, give more money to the church, you'll get a nicer seat upstairs, right? That's what it is. This is crazy, but it's so true. That is such a strong statement he made.
The demon?
I have no idea what happened. All I know is I was dead asleep with my wife and dogs, and I woke up with claw marks on my rib cage underneath my arms, and it didn't even make sense. My arms would, anyway, whatever. No one has to believe me. I don't care.
Doesn't matter.
But that happened to me, and so I just was like, wow, that's real. Whatever that is, I'm even not sure what it is.
It's very real. And so then that presence of that evil launches something.
You got to go check this guy's movie out. Christianity'sMovie.com. I'm gonna watch this. This is intriguing. I think, like I said, all of you have seen demons on a daily basis. We know this. You can commercialize it. You can laugh at it. You can ignore it. My opinion. I think they're real. This is the Vet Biker. I'm out. See you on the road.